I still feel absolutely terrible about betraying Lubeck in the multiplayer as well. I don't feel like I had a choice, and I definitely dodged a bullet by doing it, but we had a alliance of mutual protection against Dithmarschen, and then Dithmarschen declared war and attacked, but they brought Prussia in, and when they did that I was like,
Huzzah!
If it was just against Dithmarschen I would have joined, but because they had Brandenburg as well, I couldn't. That's when I started funneling money to you, Grugi. Trying to keep you in the war, and then eventually to... No, I started to the Hansa, and he said no, send it to Grugi instead, so I did. It wasn't a betrayal, it was just good business. Well, to be fair, that was kind of the beginnings of my emergence as a financial power. Oh, and I checked after that game, by the way. Dithmarschen was this close to bankruptcy at the end of that series, at the end of that session. They were losing 90 ducats a month, and they had 2 ducats in the bank, and they already had like 14 loans. I know there's Florinomics, but even that was pretty bad. Right. Florey's always on the verge of bankruptcy. Yeah, I know. Still pissed at myself. Like, I panicked. I did not need that first bankruptcy. And I think I really, really screwed up having taken it. See you, Grugi. Clevs, we have improved relations with them. Excellent. Right, let's double check our minions and see if anybody else needs to be reminded of their obligations. Bremen probably could be. Nassau still... Oh no, we stopped Nassau. Dithmarschen could be. Got to keep Florey in check. Alright, so I'm going to say Nassau. Where are you gone? There you are. Yeah, because we stopped the improvement with you, so we'll send you. And then... Dithmarschen or Bremen? Let's go with Dithmarschen, because they're actually on the border with Denmark. They'll be kind of integral if we go to war with the Danes. Yeah, I know he's 1v1ing Prussia at the time. I'm aware. But I still maintain Florey's weakness in that game was his economy, which is why I was building up such a big fleet so I could start privateering him and blockading him. Genoa declared war upon their new enemy, Florence. They cite conquest of the new CB. Genoa's being kind of aggro in this game. Oh, and the Ottomans finally beat Byzantium. Genoa still has that, but they didn't take any land from Byzantium. And you're still blockading me. Okay, new election. I think we are going to stick with the military mind. And once we hit 90 Republican tradition, we can start really thinking about re-electing people. 37-year-old, you're not bad. If you have a good trait, then you might well be a candidate. You have a bad trait. You are not a candidate. Protestant Reformation, 1498. This is a really early one. Compared to what was it, 1590 or whatever it was in the multiplayer. It's like 100 years early compared to that. Oh, Bohemia's out the war? Damn. Thoughts of disapproval against the Roman Catholic Church are spreading across Europe as a result of increasing corruption of the monks and the clerics. Voices are raised questioning the current principles and the greed of the Church. A monk in Westphalen has for some time expressed deep concern, is now openly declaring his discontent of the Church, paving the way towards a reformation of the faith. Kind of interesting that it appeared in a bishopric. (1517) is historical, yeah. 1498 is about normal for pre-emperor. I'm not sure I agree with that. I'm used to seeing the Reformation in the 1500s, the early 1500s. Like 1515, roughly. Can I strengthen the government and military points? I can, but I don't want to spend the points on that. I think it's a bad cost. The trade power of Ragusa has been disbanded. There are not enough members after Serbia left, so Ragusa just weakened. And we do have a government reform. So what's next? Presidential system, institution embracement cost goes down, or parliamentarianism. We can't do that because we're a plutocracy, so we have got to go with the presidential system. Alright then, El Presidente. So, Bohemia, would you be willing to join a war if a war were to be declared? Yes. And you're more likely to declare it now because you got money out of Hungary when they peaced out. Drat. Gonna have to wait longer. In the meantime, what would my path of expansion be? Oldenburg? Ostfriesland, maybe? Denmark and Cologne, Mecklenburg and Flanders. I mean, I'm kind of waiting for two countries to fall apart. I'm waiting for Denmark to fall apart, and I'm waiting for Bohemia to fall apart. Hell, Poland is. Poland's allied to Stettin, eh? So if I declared war on Stettin, I can avoid that one. And Poland is horribly in debt and has lots of rebels. Poland may well say no to supporting Stettin, which leaves Stettin completely isolated. Although we do have a truce with them right now, but that's now. How long's that for? Until 03, that's another 5 years. That's still a ways away. Spymaster has died. That's unfortunate because he was a level 2. In fact, all of my people were level 2s. Do we have anyone who's cheap? No. But we do have a trade efficiency guy, which I think we'll take. How long do we have on the annexed? Also 5 years. Denmark's warned us again. But apparently warnings are only against neighbours. So Denmark does not have a land border with Mecklenburg. This is one thing I wasn't sure about. And Denmark will not be called in. Okay, so it is only a land border, not a sea border. That was one of the questions I had in the previous recording. Yeah, I do usually stream at this time. So usually my streaming schedule is 5 PM British Summer Time until about 2 AM British Summer Time. But because of the madness of the weekend and because I was recording the YouTube series this morning still, I decided to take my first stream off because I really needed a break, and I'm glad I did. But usually it's 5 until 2. So tomorrow, for example, is 5 till 2 with a 1 hour break in between at 9 to 10. Alright, so... no, we're not doing that. I need to think of a counter to Frisia, to Bohemia. Do I still have a slot available? Yes. Do we have any potential candidates for an alliance? Because there are a lot of people who want an alliance. The problem is most of them are already friendly to us. Oh, Holland does. We would force Holland to choose between us and Denmark. Now, here's the thing. Do I really want to support the Dutch? Because the English trade node is going to be a major competitor to us. Wait, is Hungary a choice? Oh, it is. Yeah, but this is a Hungary which is getting kind of beaten up by people. They would draw me into wars against Bohemia and Austria, which I don't think I can afford. Plus, there'd be the possibility of diplomatically vassalizing, though that's unlikely with a nation as wealthy as they are. No, I think... maybe trying to expand in towards Friesland, and then from Friesland into Holland. I mean, taking over the Low Countries and North Germany would certainly make for an incredibly wealthy zone. Imagine owning this area. That would be crazy. No, I'm going to keep the Dutch around. I want to have an economic competitor to fight against. I'm thinking about the future here. I think it would be a more interesting game if we keep the Dutch around. So we'll ally them. We just won't particularly help them much. Because I think they will be a good ally because they are a naval power. And that's what we need against Denmark. Because they do still outnumber us. And then we will improve relations with the Dutch so that they stay on side. Alright, we'll see what we can do. What's the goal for this? Form the Hanseatic League. So we need to take Wolgast, we need to take Wismar, not Wolgast. Wolgast are allies. Wismar, Rostock, Gotland, Novgorod, Akershus, Bergenhus, Trondelag. Was it Trondelag? Actually, I'm not sure about that one. What are the Norwegian territories that I need to own? Oh no, they're subjugating Norway. I don't need to do that. Never mind. Same with Denmark. I don't need to seize Jutland. Those are not required for Unite the League. They are required for secure North Sea trade and doing the colonial stuff, but not for my immediate objective. So we just need Visby, we need Novgorod. And with Novgorod, probably Neva as well. Or Ingermanland. In German land, seeing as we are the Germans, having in German land is probably a good idea. That's having light ships. That's having a shipyard. At least 5 shipyards. So we need to have at least 5 coastal provinces for that one. This one just needs us to have traders, treasurers, and a bunch of cash. That one needs us to have the Adler and 10 heavies. That needs us to have 4 merchants and money. That's going to be a very easy one, actually. Queen of the League. That's going to require us to have Lubeck at a level 30 and a level 3 trade node. Doable again. This one's going to require Lubeck to control 70% of the trade in Lubeck. And then finally, we need this one, which is going to be 6 merchants. I mean, we're already at 5. So getting 6... Let me think about this. What are going to be future sources of merchants? Because we've already got the national ideas. We've already got plutocratic. Are we going to have to take trade? Does expansion come with a merchant? No. Yes. Yes, it does. Okay, so we could take a relatively early expansion. So we'll probably go Diplo, most likely maritime, or possibly trade. And then expansion as the 4th. Oh yeah, trade companies. That's another thing which I have not at all looked into. Oh, Stad has a coastal defence. Interesting. So Stad actually has one of the new buildings. Blockade force required plus 50% and then hostile disembark time plus 100. So it'll take longer for people to disembark in Stad. Which is actually a very good thing for us. Seeing as it's kind of... Lubeck is the protected area because it's inland seas. Stad is very much the unprotected area for us. Meanwhile, we are 7 years ahead. We could get free subjects. Do I want to? No. I think at this point we're going to be saving points so that we can tack up and hopefully get the innovativeness from the tax if it's not too expensive. That sounds like a plan to me. Which does also mean waiting until we have Diplo 9 so that I can build all the ships. So until then we're saving money. We are making more and more cash, which is good. Oh, can I get another shipyard? Yes, I can. Let's do that. So we have the force limit in place. Ready and waiting. Need to be a great power to finish that mission. That's not actually that difficult. Just need to be incredibly wealthy. Which is not going to be that difficult. And also with all the territory I'm going to need to do it. I suspect we will be a great power by then. Since Lubeck began to serve the aristocrats have begun to serve Lubeck. Once afraid that they would be seen as a relic of old government forms, the nobles have realised they can maintain power as long as they're willing to work together. While this may put them at odds with the other Lubeckian political forces, it has served to put ambitions of overthrowing the Republic at rest and help them organising their efforts much more efficiently. The aristocracy united. Oh, it's nice when they work for us. Unrest and discipline. Brandenburg. What are you fighting against Saxony? Saxony and Goslar versus Brandenburg and Unholt. Interesting. Siena accepted peace with Genoa. Siena will give money to Genoa. Genoa, again, super expansionist right now. Kind of weird to see. This feels like a huge DLC. Is this like one of the biggest DLCs for E4? This is one of the biggest DLCs, full stop. They were actually comparing it to Holy Crusade. No, Holy... Crikey, what was that one called? Holy Fury for CK2, and this is like twice as many code changes as Holy Fury had. Okay, improve relations with Nassau. Done. Then we need to go back to Dithmarschen. Make sure you stay on point. Age of Discovery is ending soon, so yeah, we got no real benefit from any of that stuff. Bosnia has announced Ragusa as a new rival. I'm impressed with how much Ragusa has grown. Well done, Ragusa. Bologna accepted peace. Bologna will cede Bologna to Ferrara. Bologna will pay 40 ducats to Genoa and allies. Genoa's just on a rampage, although it's a bit of an occupied rampage right now. And relations with Dithmarschen are done. Trade protection lost against Muscovy. That's fine. Oh, Bohemia, 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 Bohemia. What am I going to do with you? I could try to improve relations with them so much that they wouldn't accept a call to arms. Might be worth doing. Imperial entrant, Burgundy. Were among the possible options. They went with I never cared much about claiming the French throne as their choice of action. The Duke of Burgundy wishes to join the Holy Roman Empire. So we have got our first Imperial incident. Oh no, second one. Shadow Kingdom was the first. So we now need to vote on whether we should allow Burgundy into the Empire or to prevent them. So if we allow them, then we lose Imperial authority, although we'll gain some again because we gained a new prince. Trier is supporting. Brabant, Flanders, Berg, Liège, Lorraine and Savoy are all supporting. For some reason, all of those nations directly adjacent to Burgundy want them to join the Empire. However, 63 out of the 72 are saying no. And saying no gives them a subjugation CB against Mainz, Trier and Passau, and a restoration of union against Bohemia, Brandenburg, the Palatinate and Saxony. Yeah, this is what we were up against when I was playing as Holland. Is Burgundy got this event, and we were like, this would give us so many claims over so much of Germany. I mean, none of this directly affects me. The positive of bringing Burgundy in is that's denying that land to France. So if we have Burgundy in the Empire, that is a weakened France. And that is something I'm in favour of. So I'm going to vote in favour of this one. I doubt we'll win the vote. Doesn't affect me. I'm not the Emperor. Shipyard and Stad has been completed. Excellent. So what's our naval force limit now? 18. We have 16. We did get rid of the cogs, didn't we? Yeah, so we've got 11 galleys and 5 light ships right now. We'll probably just outright upgrade the 5 light ships to caravels from barks, and then I really want to get to about 20 galleys. So I think I'm just going to go for a force limit of about 25, so 20 galleys, 5 lights. I want to have more galleys than Denmark has. The Hansa used to use a standardized Plattdeutsch Low German for its record-keeping in literature. If it had survived, there's a good chance that Low German and High German would never have merged into a single language. Interesting. Are those CBs permanent or do they expire? Not sure. How powerful and rich could a South Africa E4 game? There are no nations in South Africa, so not possible to start as them. The nearest you could get would be Kilwa. South Africa is just colonizable. Anyway, Ken. Oh, and people have been following and I've been completely ignoring them. Sorry about that. Viermed Good, Andy, Pure Luck MF, and Guta. Thank you very much for the follow. Sorry, Pure Luck MF was actually a resubscription. Thank you very much for the 2-month resub coming in there, Pure Luck. Appreciate that support. I'm sorry I missed it. Thank you. I'm not talking about starting as them, but starting as one of the countries near there and colonizing the region, basically playing as South Africa. Again, Kilwa, possibly Congo could probably pull it off. It does have some really nice resources down there. Plus, taking South Africa would prevent the Europeans from getting to the east for quite a lot longer. Huzzah! They would eventually be able to just go around you, but you'd probably prevent them doing it for 50 years, if not 100. Mutapa is more ideal. Yeah, I must admit my geography of that region at the start of the game is not great. My only real experience at that area is Betsimisaraka. In fact, you could play as somebody like Betsimisaraka. South Africa would be a fantastic piracy port. And in fact, I think it might well have been a pirate haven in that Betsimisaraka game. I'm so glad I can actually say that name properly now. I struggled with it so much when I first started. Okay, so Theologian died. That's another decent advisor dead, unfortunately. Unfortunately, I don't want to pay 5 ducats a month for a tier 2. I would have to wait until we get some of the cheap guys. And I don't get any of the advisor cost reductions because I don't have access to estates. And for the first time, I'm going to say that's something I dislike about the Merchant Republics. No estates. Improve the capital. The glory of the capital has long been neglected. We now have the opportunity to improve the city and make it a beacon of cultural pride. This may prove costly, but there is an alternative solution. So we can spend a bunch of money and gain base tax, or we can just spend manpower. I'm quite happy to spend the manpower. Poland, 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 Poland. Poland. You seem to be having problems there, Poland. Unfortunately, I can't claim any of your territory. So I can't, for example, go after Danzig, which I would like to have. Too bad. The end of the Peasants' War. Poland. Oh! Well, congratulations. The instability of the past few years now seems to be over. We no longer have to worry about the peasants fighting reforms. Their will to fight has been drained. They gain legitimacy, they gain prestige, restrict serfdom, religious intolerance, obsolete forces, and isolate the rebels will be removed from Poland. They survived. Ah, and here we go. Ban their entry. So Burgundy has been refused, which means that Burgundy now has a ton of CBs against the Empire. Now if we go to diplomacy and we take a look at the CBs, valid until 1510. So they have 9 years. Yep, 9 years. Not very long, in other words. They'd have to trigger it basically immediately. Alright, technology. So we now have the means to get Diplo, and you're telling me somebody's already got level 9? 2 years ago? They paid 55% more points for that? That's such a waste. Such a waste. Hungary tells us of the Peasants' War. It's a good thing I didn't ally with Hungary. The peasantry has for some time demanded economic, religious and political amendments. Okay. The Emperor has decided to go through with the reform, enact the Gemeine Pfennig. The Emperor gets tax income of plus 25, which is a crazy amount. However, we all get plus 1 Diplo rep, which means that we are going to have a better time allying people. Alright, so you are a 40-year-old. I don't think I really want to re-elect you. Do we want another military candidate, or do we want to switch to admin? I think we probably want to switch to admin. Done. Oh yeah, that's true. Ledger would say. Country, technology, Oh wow, loads of people have. Frankfurt, Dortmund, Mantua, Florence and Constance. Mantua's got innovativeness of 15. Portugal is 17. I'm second. Maybe I should go for innovativeness. Moldova is planning to attack... Sorry, Wallachia is planning to attack Moldova. There goes the army. Somebody else has already beaten us at the army as well last year. Nobody's got admin yet, though. So we could well be first in that, though, considering how much we still have to gain. Doubtful. Florence has accepted peace with Genoa. Full annexation was demanded. Florence will pay 105 ducats. And Genoa gets bigger. Go Genoa. And is now rivals with Naples. So I guess Naples got independence from Spain. Ragusa has announced Bosnia as a new rival. And I feel like Naples has an easier time getting independence nowadays. So playing as the Neapolitans would probably be a more interesting game now. Okay, so relations with Holland have been fully improved. Are there any other relations that we need to do? Riga, probably okay. Bremen. Bremen we do need to improve. So let's go ahead and do that. Just to make sure that all of these guys have my back for when Denmark or whoever inevitably comes after us. I dislike that we're not going after Muscovy sooner. That's going to be a really tough fight. What I'd like to see is Muscovy and Scandinavia tussling. Because that would weaken both sides and that would be amazing for me. If only I was playing as the High Elves and I could manipulate these things. And that's probably the first and only time you'll ever hear me saying, I wish I was playing as the High Elves. Arentia Chaos, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime subscription. Very much appreciate the support there. Thank you. Welcome to the Maudlings. And Darth Cake, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Did Poland split a country out? Yes. They spat out Galicia. Did they break the Union? No, they still have the Union. Bohemia wants access. Bohemia is once again at war with Poland. Ho ho. Which has also brought in Stettin. Fascinating. And Mecklenburg. Fascinating. Saxony would say no. Bohemia, for the moment, says yes. So I'm going to be a little bit sneaky right now. I'm going to start improving relations with Bohemia, so they hopefully would say no to a war against me. Military access with all these guys. Please, send your armies off to die. I would 100% support your right to send your troops off to die. I'm in no way going to get in the way of this. Oh yeah, no, damn. Denmark gobbled Norway.